This might be the first detective anime that I actually like. Welcome back to my channel, guys. It's me, Irvin, and I have a detective anime that's airing on Funimation that I'm going to be giving you my first impressions on. I have quite a bit of videos that have already released and more to come, probably today, maybe one more. So make sure you keep up with all these videos that I'm releasing to you guys. This one's going to be on Moriarty. I can't pronounce his name. Moriarty, the Patriot. It's gonna be at least subbed in Funimation. I don't know if it will be dubbed eventually. I don't see it being dubbed, but it could. Um, it is a detective mystery and slasher, little bit of gore anime, and it takes a different twist on a mystery anime, and that's what I liked about it. It really does stand out above others. Now, before I continue, a few things. If you have not done so by now, make sure you subscribe to my channel. There is going to be another giveaway on October 15th. I've been asked that quite a bit. Yes, I'm still doing giveaways every month, but it's always on October 15th. There's quite a bit of first impression videos already out, so go check those out to see what to watch this season. There'll be more coming out this week. Today will be pretty heavy if you haven't seen already on first impressions, so make sure you watch them as much as possible. And then lastly, guys, if you haven't done so, subscribe to my channel, give support, and and follow me on Twitter and TikTok if you like as well. Okay, Moriarty the Patriot follows this character William James, and I was slightly confused of who William James exactly was, because I could almost assure you that he was a blonde dude, but also a black haired dude. I don't know if he like would change his hair or what, but for the most part, he was blonde. And essentially, um, there is this killer who is going out and killing young boys, and the newspaper says, other than them being young boys, we can't really find anything that points to someone, right? So it's a pretty big tragedy, and people are losing their boys. One who's also an orphan. So William, he goes into looking into the newspaper with his butler, and he's like, okay, at glance it doesn't look like anyone, but look who the sons are from. There is I think one was a clocksmith, one was a tailor for sure, because he's the one that he ends up talking to. One is from a horseman trainer guy. One is from a jeweler guy. Um, Another is I think from a hatsman. So all these are like people that make things or train things like horses for wealthier people, for nobles. So he's like, look, they all connect to people that are close to nobleness. You know, they're not actually nobleness, but nobleness actually see them. And typically, a killer sees their prey a few times before they actually go and attack. Um, this, for me was like, wow, that is true. Now, there is a loophole because his butler says, okay, but there's this one orphan guy. What about this orphan guy? So they go and investigate, and they learn that this orphan guy was in this big plaza. So William is investigating. He's like, could it be that he saw them passing by through a carriage? Like, no, most people study their prey. Most predators, they do that. They study their prey. At least those that have done it for multiple times. We're not talking about one kid. We're talking about multiple kids. So he knows that this guy is a serial killer in a way that he is studying his prey. This is not the first kid he killed. This is towards the end of the list. So he noticed that there's this building close by, and it's a club, and there's a window that points directly to where the kid used to work. He used to play his music there. So he goes into the club, investigates more, and finds out that it is Lord. I forgot his name, but it's Lord from there, and he sits in his table, and he's like, I like your ring. You got it from this jeweler. I like your suit. You got it from this tailor. I like your clock. You got it from the. And he's like, wait, you can't even see my clock. And how do you know where my horses were trained? And so he goes on giving him the list of the people that he knows he killed the kids from. And then he's like, oh, and I know how you used to really enjoy watching the kid that used to play there in that plaza. And he says, and lastly, I know you're horrible at playing cards because your face gives away everything. He's already freaking out. He walks away and he sends his henchmen to attack William. And William, um, as a good detective, notices that he's being followed and ends up capturing his henchman. Now, we don't know what happens to him. He just tells them, I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. And that's about it. They take him away. We don't know if he killed him or what, but they took him away. This all leads to him capturing the Lord. Now, this is where it takes a turn because during the entire time I'm watching, I'm like, okay, it's a good detective story. Things we've seen this quite a bit. You know, cases that can't be solved, but then are solved because there's a good detective that finds the way. Okay, that is very common. We see that in almost every detective anime. We what we don't see is the next part. He actually was working with the Taylor guy. The Taylor guy he's distraught. He's lost his little boy. Lost his son. Obviously, probably all of them are the same way. But this guy is in specific. He is destroyed. So we see this as a flashback. Went and asked William to capture this guy so that he could kill him. Enjoy killing him the same way that this man killed his son. So he goes in and like he has flashbacks very often, seeing how his son was tied up, seeing how probably the guy smiled at the kid before even dying. Like he is traumatized by this, so he goes in and kills this man with his scissors, and that's that. That's basically the episode. William helps him leave the scene of the crime, cleans him up, and then we see a scene where William is seeing the guy work and he is as happy as he can be. And that's it. That's the entire episode. It's not really a detective anime as much as it's a guy who has a detective has a detective mind but uses it for, I would say, evil, because you're fighting evil with evil. But the way they portray it is he is cleaning up the noble mess in, I guess, London, right? So depending how you see it, it could be good or bad. I see it as, there's obviously people that can see it as good, but you're still fighting evil with evil. So anyways, that's the episode. The pretty good episode, like I said. The twist and turn that we saw in the end was pretty good, and I enjoyed it. Now that I know that's going to be what the anime is about, not sure if it's going to be so much of a twist for me, but more of this is what the anime is. So for the initial shock, for the enjoyment that I got from it, I'm going to say this is a 6.5. I will recommend this as probably one of the better detective animes out there. What I don't like is maybe 60% of it was very much like every other detective anime. You have this hard case to solve and he solves it. That's great. That's awesome. We've seen that multiple times. So, 6.5, I think that's what it deserves. Go check it out. Again, you can watch this on Funimation. It's not free yet. I think it eventually will become free with ads, but for now, I think you have to wait a whole week before you can watch it. It released yesterday on Saturday, so you probably have seen it already, or not. You can go watch it. Again, I don't know if it will be dubbed. Make sure you check out my other first impression videos that I have released here in my channel. Give some love to this one. Comment, like, and share. And then if you're watching up to this point and you haven't done so by now, then might as well subscribe. I would appreciate that love. Thank you again for your love and support, guys. And like always, don't be strangers. See you guys in the next video.